What's up? I like a band called NEUROSIS. I especially like their cover art for their album Times of Grace. This little Wolfie here. When I was in my wild teen years, and all of my friends were getting tattoos, I thought, if I ever get a tattoo, it will be the wolf from Times of Grace. And I got through it. I never got a tattoo, but still, to this day, I think, that would make a neat tattoo. Although I'm not into tattoos myself, really. But if I was to get one, it would probably be one of these fucking wolves I got here. Anyway, I thought we'd shift gears a bit because I have thus far only reacted to songs I'd never heard before and a band I'd never heard before, which is Tool. So I thought, okay, let's switch it up a bit because I have drawn many comparisons to Tool and Neurosis, mainly because people have seen the banner in the back and have left me comments saying or wondering how I have not gotten into Tool since I'm into Neurosis. And actually, a lot of people have left comments saying that, hey, they checked out Neurosis because of my hype for them, and they either say, boy, they're fucking boring, or hey, wow, they're great. So I thought, let's listen to a Neurosis track all together. I've obviously heard this before. Many of you probably have as well. Some of you probably haven't. So you who haven't, please, even though it's not as fun to watch the reaction of a song you've never heard before, I don't know. Maybe you'll get something out of this as well. I think we're gonna start off in the deep fucking end. Through Silver and Blood was released in 1996. This is considered by many their magnum opus. Not by me, but this is certainly the most fucked up they've gotten on an album. This album sounds like, I forget if it is actually, all the lyricism is really bleak and obscure. I forget if this is actually about a nuclear apocalypse or if this is the likeness that people draw between the songs and the lyrical themes that fans, if this is like a correlation that fans make up, or if one of the guys has said that, this is the inspiration for the tracks. But let's dive into the title track, Through Silver and Blood, widely also considered to be one of their monumental pieces, which it is. Funnily enough, I had been listening to Neurosis and loving Neurosis on this level for many years before I fully got into this album. It took me maybe close to 10 years, not 10, but 5 or 6 years to get into this album. So it's not an easy nut to crack, but let's start cracking this nut together, shall we? Through Silver and Blood. This is how it fucking starts. A very lo-fi machine industrial loop. It's a little wavering in tempo, so it doesn't sound like it's programmed in a grid like this or in a sequencer, whatever the guy Noah used. But it actually sounds like it's being played like it's been manually played, because the tempo keeps fluctuating throughout, which you will hear. Feedback, setting the ambience. I've mentioned Tool, their tribal sound, their tribal trance sound, and how they go into that with the drumming. Well, this is that upped by a few notches. This part here is played by the drummer Jason Roeder, playing on the toms, and Steve Von Till, Scott Kelly, both are singer guitarists. They have a couple of toms in front of them as well, as that they all play this rhythm in unison. It works great live. Seen them twice live. It's fucking crazy. There's a melody there, played on a sampler or keyboard. Pay a little attention, it's not very far off from Fear Inoculum. in essence. Also, there's a low hum in the background from one of the guitars because it's about to kick in, but that hum is it's not the root or bass note of that da na 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 na, which would be da. So if that low hum in the background, if it was da, and the keyboard melody would be da na 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 na, it would make a nice, just a whole sounding soundscape. But the fact that the hum in the background is actually it's a few steps below the root note. It makes it really suspenseful and just unpleasant sounding, which I love. Guitar echoes the synth melody up until where it has a different ending to the synth melody, which is also a really cool choice. All the while until changing it up. And in the background, samples of God knows fucking what. Probably WW2 era fucking fighter planes or whatever. Very sample heavy, very layer heavy, very unpleasant. And then a bit of a release. Past the intro, the suspense is heavy. It's laying thick. Okay, we have in the background, we have a little variation of the original keyboard theme that this song started with, and there's a clean guitar picking out those notes. Dun, 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 dun. But on top of that, you have an extremely distorted guitar just wailing. That is a note that is completely off, not in the same scale or melody or anything. It's just this complete juxtaposition of what the fuck, and I love that. Let's bring it back a little bit. So here's the root note. And then we have and then I think the guys are quoted on saying there's like 16 guitar tracks layered on top of each other here. Still an insane amount of samples, rhythmic samples and loops in the background, metallic, industrial noise. And intents and purposes, we moved into the chorus part of the song, or this part of the song. The verse part there, we have three vocalists going nuts. They have overlapping vocal lines, sometimes screaming words, lyrics in unison, sometimes doing their one line and another line, and the other guy does a line on top of that. Just insane. Just disgustingly bleak vocabulary in the lyrics. Just And that led up to this part, which is a verse, or I'm sorry, a chorus of sorts. A little variation on guitars. Also nice variation on the, because during the verse, he mostly, I think, plays on the, I'm talking about the drums now, he goes, those two loud hits being the snare, so it goes tom, 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 snare, snare, tom, 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 snare, snare, tom, 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 snare, snare. And then during the chorus, if I want to call this a chorus, he goes dun, 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 snare, 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 snare. So it's a little bit, you know? Yeah. And then goes into all flesh must bleed in time. Very nasty. Oh, here comes my favorite part lyrically of this piece. Also, 3 different vocalists. Here we go. Windstorm. Windstorm promised. Windstorm promised the teeth. What the fuck? Windstorm promised the teeth. Promised the teeth. We're 5 minutes into the song. It has been just a chugging fucking juggernaut of the same theme throughout. Little variations here and there. Mostly just building on the same relentless feeling and theme. And then heavy samples again. You can't even really tell what's a guitar riff and what's just ambient noise and what's keyboards and synths and stuff. And the thing that I love is that Scott and Steve, the 2 guitarists, they're very different in their approach. Scott he can be quoted as saying he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. The only thing he can play on a guitar is the stuff he writes, and he only writes simple stuff that he can play. So while Steve is more on the experimental side, he's in the huge bunch of effects, and he's more musical on the guitar. So they sometimes write guitar parts where one of them plays a riff and the other one just plays something completely else. They can play 2 different riffs sometimes on top of each other, and that just adds to the overall just textures and layers of the song, which I love, because it sounds like musicians who aren't really like musicians in the me type of way, just making music. It's great. Great vocals, really intense. I love those repeating sounds in the background. Crushing riff. Into the first real release of the tension since the song started over 7 minutes ago. bass is so heavily distorted, such heavy overdrive and gain that you can hear. It sounds like he's playing something like he's playing like this pumping bass line of like, and then he goes in the where he does a crazy like. I'll point it out when it happens in the riff, but the tone is so insane that it actually sounds like he's just doing pick scrapes. Check it out. There we go. Here. That's up. Let's sing along. Don't crawl, seek his burn of war. This is very war heavy, actually. When the fallout comes, he is fire. So not only grammatically strange, but just fucked up. What's better than one guy chanting that is two guys chanting it. More insane samples. It's getting louder. I can't tell really, but it's getting more compact. I love that little bit. It's a recurring sample. Irregularly occurring. Reoccurring. There it is again. This is insane. This is fucking insane. This is so unpleasant and oppressive, and it's, to me, it's nothing short of amazing. Go again. Last one. This has been going on for, I think, 4 minutes now. Who does this? Then, at this point, the guitarists have their toms again. So that sample is in the back again. As a loop. that was a song by Neurosis. Now, it's funny how, do you still think that this is similar to Tool? I don't see many similarities between this song, for example, and the ones that I've reviewed or reacted to of Tool. But I also understand now, because one thing that I've been sort of, or not criticizing, but expressing my opinion on, is that I find that Tool's riffing and musicianship and stuff, it's great. It's really good, but it's classical. It's not classical, but it's classic, like with the dad riffs in that pentatonic scale, and all that. Whereas I listen to this song and it's like, wow, we just went through 5 minutes where the guitars do this. So, I mean, that is not interesting musicianship at all. But the thing is, Neurosis is not about musicianship. You can argue that Tool is about musicianship, because Danny Carey, phenomenal drummer, phenomenal drum parts. Justin Chancellor, phenomenal bass parts. Maynard, amazing vocals at times. Adam Mann, guitar man, does his thing, fills in the gaps and the blanks and stuff. Here, it's a fucking cacophony of just fucked up shit. It's 5 guys just, let's kill ourselves in the studios, fucking make everyone feel like shit who listens to this as a result, and I love it. If you think all the Neurosis is like this, I will anyway make another let's listen to some Neurosis video just to showcase how different they are. But this is a good starting off point where it's like, okay, these guys have some of this in store. And I think I'll throw a real curveball at you next time I listen to Neurosis with you guys and show off the very beautiful side and the very just tear-jerking side. Anyway, hope you have a good Friday. Yeah, let me know. Do you like to listen to Neurosis? Do you like to listen to music you haven't heard before? With me, maybe. Talking shit about it. Not even talking shit. I love it. Look at this. Look at me fucking... I'm a fucking clown. Look at this. How many fucking wolves do you need?